Hey guys, what's up? This is Jordan Crook with TechCrunch, and I'm here talking to the CEO and founder of BillGuard, Yaron Samin. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Jordan.
How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Good, good.
Just had a baby, by the way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Two days ago, literally.
We've been talking for 10 minutes
I know,
and you didn't even tell me.
Yeah. Everything beyond this is like gravy.
All right, okay. So, I mentioned this earlier, but we're doing kind of a series on what's up with our past Disrupt companies now that Disrupt has been going for however many years. And so I just wanted to talk to you. I mean, what was it like to launch on stage? I know big companies like Apple and Samsung do it. Startups don't do it so much.
Yeah.
What was it like for you guys?
You know what? I'll give you an analogy that I gave Mike the day after, which was launching a Disrupt is like taking a rubber band, and pulling it back and pulling it back and pulling it back. You have this kind of quiet stealth period for months before. It's like very tense, and you don't tell anybody what you're doing. And then in one moment, you get on stage and you just let go of a rubber band, and then you hold on for dear life because the amount of publicity, obviously, that you get is it's tremendous, and it did an amazing job of putting us on the map, and we've been doing a pretty good job of holding on for dear life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's been about 2 years, a year and a half, something like that. A little more than 2 years, actually.
No.
No. A year
and a few months.
Yeah. Okay. So that was Disrupt New York, 2011.
Yeah.
So what's happened since? Where are you guys at?
So first of all, we were very fortunate to be the runner-up and win second place, and we, as I mentioned, had an incredible start out of the gate. Lots of publicity, lots of users, and we're a crowdsourced big data analytics company at the core of what we do, and so we need lots of data and lots of cards. And BillGuard, by the way, in one line, is like antivirus for your bills. It does an automated check of your credit card activity and notifies you when it finds unwanted and unauthorized charges. And so the most important thing was get as much data into the system as quickly as possible, while doing it in a kind of a secure way because we're dealing with transaction data. And so we were able to do that May 23rd, 2011. At the launch, and kind of keep that going. There's a bit of a, what you call, I think Paul Graham calls it the TechCrunch of initiation, where you have that kind of spike, and then you kind of go back down, and then you're working your way back up. But it's been great for us. The most important metric of all for us is that we've been able to save our users nearly $1 million in bad charges on their credit card bills. And that's the thing that we're most proud about.
That's awesome. So what has funding been like for you guys? I've talked to a few different founders who have said that investor relations are a little bit cushioned after Disrupt. How much in funding are you totaling now, and what was talking to investors like post-Disrupt?
So absolutely, there's quite a bit of a hype boost when you do well at Disrupt. And in October of that year, we raised an additional $10 million, led by Vinod Khosla at Khosla Ventures. And he was joined by Founders Fund, Peter Thiel's fund, as well as Innovation Endeavors, which is Eric Schmidt's fund. So we have the best thinkers in the industry, and I think we got on their radar in a big part by the fact that we had such a stage to launch on.
Absolutely. So what were some of the challenges, not only with Disrupt, but just kind of following Disrupt? I know that you and Fred Wilson had a bit of a beef on stage. What was that like?
Yeah, so we had a very real conversation on stage, which I don't think you're supposed to do in a competition. I think you're supposed to agree and nod and say, "Good question," to judges. So that's a tip for startups presenting. But we actually had a very real conversation about our business model. Fred and I had known each other for years prior, and so I felt pretty comfortable to have that conversation. We disagreed on what the business model should be, and as a result, I think the whole thing kind of went sideways in the finals. But he turned out to be very right in the core message that he sent us, which was when you're building a big data analytics system, you want to reduce all friction to scale. And we came out with a freemium model that we said would make sense. And at the time, he said, get rid of that. Start free, give it away for free. And we actually ended up doing that. So we listened. And it's another lesson, I guess, right?
Just a little late.
Just right after the competition, which is a little bit inconvenient, but it turned out actually fantastic because Fred ended up writing probably the best blog post ever about BillGuard. That got us a ton of traffic and a lot of credibility because he basically said, look, here's a startup with a fantastic idea and now a business model where they have actually listened to feedback from the industry and made a change that is good not only for their users, but for the company. And he gave us a lot of credibility in doing so. So net, it worked out well, and it gave, put on a good show, I guess.
So you guys actually just announced a few new features, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So first of all, the most valuable thing that I think we've added recently is our BillGuard Resolve service. So we have found close to 1 million users in bad charges, but when we find it for a consumer, we left it up to them to go get their money back or cancel a service. And they were telling us over and over again, look, it's just painful to have to get your money back.
Right.
And we built a service, since we have merchant data in our system, to basically connect a consumer directly to a merchant to resolve issues that arise. And it's working fantastically well. So instead of you having to call a merchant and be routed from voicemail to voicemail or chase them down, or spend the time, 4 to 6 weeks waiting for your bank to take care of it, you can basically click a button, fill out a form, and BillGuard will basically email the merchant on your behalf saying, here's the issue, here's the requested resolution, and give the merchant the opportunity to avoid all those nasty chargeback fees that happen when banks get involved. And it's a win-win-win, because banks save money, merchants save money, and the consumer clicks a button and get their money back. So that's probably, I think, the biggest development feature-wise since we launched the product.
And more to come, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very excited about stuff coming up, including a great mobile app that hopefully we'll have by the end of the year that I think takes BillGuard to a whole new level.
Awesome. We'll have to chat about that. So I guess my last question is, we've got a lot of kids coming out. Well, I guess not kids. We've got a lot of entrepreneurs coming out and getting ready to launch their product on our stage in San Francisco here in about a week. What advice would you give them? I mean, you got second, and you took a financial, less sexy startup and kind of made it really successful. So what advice would you give?
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. We're a fintech security company, not what you would typically assume would fit the TechCrunch mold. But what TechCrunch is able to do is take smart people with innovative ideas and give them a stage where we're all kind of in a level playing field. You give them the shot to tell the world, and then a panel of experts, what your business idea is. And I think the most important thing that I would relay on to other entrepreneurs is to go in thinking and planning to win. I think a lot of young entrepreneurs are very intimidated and just want the stage and just want the publicity and to say, hey, I was a disrupt, startup. Don't do that. Go in and win the damn thing.
Right.
Because if a fintech security company, by the way, from Tel Aviv, right? We're in Israel, right? We have a New York office now. We moved to New York. We haven't opened an office here, but fintech security company from Tel Aviv coming in second just shows you that anybody can do it. So dream big and go for it, and good luck. It's probably the best stage you could dream about, especially as a consumer internet company today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, Yaron, and good luck with the baby.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's it for Yaron Samid and BillGuard.